For the Memberwise Initializer, you use the type name followed by parentheses containing parameters that match each property. So for this new structure, we've created a type named person. So you use the type name here, followed by the parentheses, and then inside the parentheses, the parameter is actually going to be one of the properties here. You'll see we have a property here, which is a variable. It's called name. And here it's the same here. It's the same thing, except when you put something inside the initialization area, inside the parentheses, it's called a parameter. And inside the structure, it's called a property. Just like functions inside of a structure, they're not called functions, they're called methods. But for this, what it's basically saying is if you want to change a default property, you can also use the Memberwise Initializer. For example, in this structure named odometer, we created a new type named odometer, and it has one property, which is a variable named count that is of type integer, and we set the default value, which you don't always have to do, but we set the default value to 77. So using the Memberwise Initializer, we were able to redefine, in other words, the default value after we've already created it in the definition here. We reassigned the count to 300. So when we print the odometer dot count, we get 300. So, because normally, if you didn't have this here, and we just called the odometer type and wanted to print, Command R to run, we get 77. Command Z. Okay. So let's further illustrate. Let delete this equal odometer. And hit the open parentheses. Now you see you can just declare it regular with regular parentheses, but it also shows one of the properties for you to add as a parameter. There's the count. And when you click on the count, it gives you an empty property with a placeholder here for you to enter in any integer amount you want. Let's say if we wanted to add some more properties to our odometer to see what would happen. Let's create another variable, and we'll name it second variable. That is of type string. Let's just try string. And we'll do a third one just for good measure. Third variable. That is also of type string. Now, when we call this, they pop up. Now the count property pops up as a parameter, and the second variable pops up, and the third variable. And when you click, you're going to get 3 placeholders here for each one of the properties to fill in. So that's the Memberwise Initializer. It allows you to initialize a different value than the default value that has been set